In this video, we will use HTML templates for rendering a response to a user. In the last video, we used the HTTP response class to render response, but as you can guess, it is a very inefficient way. And usually HTML templates are used for that. To use HTML templates, first of all, I have to create them. And in the blog directory, I am creating a new folder and name it templates. And inside the templates folder, I am creating a new nested folder with the same name as my Django application, that is the blog folder. I got the templates directory, and inside the templates I got another blog directory. This folder structure is a Django agreement that helps to avoid naming conflicts in large projects. So it's recommended to use this directory structure for HTML containing folders. And by default, Django will search for all HTML templates in folders with the template's name. Now let's create a new index.html file. Index.html. And let's fill it with some content. Let's say it will be h1, header, hello world again, from index.html. And to show this template to a user, I have to correct a return value of my index function in views.py module. To render an HTML file, we should use the render function that is already imported. It takes two required arguments. The first one is the request object, this one. And the second one is the path to the HTML template to render. In my case, the path will be blog index. It is a string, so blog index HTML. Save. And if we look at the blog page, we can see F5 that all works, and there is h1 header hello world from index.html. But in this case, Django renders the HTML file, HTML template. Okay, the next step is to fill our HTML template with some data from our Python views functions. Let's suppose that a user has requested some information. We handled his request, maybe some calculations have been done, got data from a database. In a word, we did something, and now we have to show the result to a user. How to pass data to an HTML template. So let's create a new variable. Let's say it will be the n variable with the bob string as a value. And now I want to pass the value of the n variable to the HTML template. And to do it, I have to pass to the render function one more argument, the context argument. Context is a dictionary where the key is the name of the variable that I want to use in the HTML template. Let's say it will be name, and the value of that key is the value I want to pass to the HTML template. I want to pass the value of the n variable, so the value of the name key will be the n variable. Then, somewhere in the index.html file, I have to use this line, name. To use some value or a statement inside an HTML template, we have to use two opening and two closing curly brackets. It looks like frame, and inside these curly brackets I put the name variable. So let's save it and look at the browser. And I got here the bob name. Bob is a value of the n variable that I passed to the HTML template inside the context dictionary, where n is a value of the name key. And this key I used as the variable inside the HTML template. So if I'd used, let's say, zebra as the key of the context dictionary here, in the index.html template I should use the zebra variable also. So name here and name here is the same name. The next step. Let's suppose that we have some sequence, a list of strings. Let's say it will be an animals list with zebra, something like this. Then I want to rename the key of the context dictionary. It will be animals too as the key, and the value of the animals key will be the animals variable. And I want to refresh the page right now. As you can see, there is no exception. We just don't see any data because of I didn't use the animals variable in my index.html template. So inside the frame I am using the animals variable, and if I refresh the page now, I got my list as a string. And list handling and processing in HTML files is performed as usual in for loops. So to create a for loop block in an HTML template, we should use curly brackets paired with %, like this, and here inside this frame I have to define a for loop as usual. For animal, in animals list, animals I got from here, but we should close the for loop blocks in HTML templates with the and for keyword. And so again I'm using this structure, and between these curly brackets with %, I'm specifying the and for keyword. I wanted to wrap each animal with a h4 HTML tag, so h4, and between h4 tags I am inserting the animal variable inside opening and closing curly brackets. And let's refresh the page. And I got my animals as h4 tags. But now we have a problem here. As you can know, any website has some web elements that appeared repeatedly on any page. Most sites will have some form of branding or logo. Apart from the branding, there are normally other parts like navigation panel or a menu, breadcrumbs, header or a sidebar or a footer, and so on. And it turns out that to show the user common elements of a page, for example a menu, we would have to add these common elements to every page of our project. That's literally, we have to copy and paste needed HTML code to every page. And when we would want to add or remove a link from a menu, for example, we have to make changes on every page that uses this menu. It is wasteful and tedious work, and to solve this issue, Django provides a mechanism that's well known as template inheritance. And the main idea of the template inheritance is to create a basic HTML template that will contain all common elements for every page of a website. A header, a menu, a sidebar or a footer, and anything you want to have on every page. And any specific for every page elements or data will be injected to this basic template. So let's create a basic template. In the templates blog folder here, I am creating a new HTML file. Let's say it will be base HTML. And in this file I want to create a main layout of my website with bootstrap CSS files. So I'm going to the get bootstrap.com, and I need its CDN link. And here with the emmet plugin, I'm creating a basic structure of my document, and somewhere here just pasting this bootstrap link. The main layout will contain a menu and a main part of all pages. So I am going to the documentation page. I need the components and navbar section. I like this navbar. Copy and paste it somewhere here. I want to rearrange. Edit lines after indent. Then I want to remove the drop down menu option and disabled. Drop down list item is here, and disabled one is here. And now after the nav bar, I want to create a main container for my content. It will be the container div and its child with the raw class. Okay, it's done. And now I have to remove all common elements, if any, from specific pages of my project. I have only one specific page. It is index.html template, and there is no any common elements. Or maybe it is better to delete all content for a while. Now I have to say Django that I got at last the basic template that should be filled with the content of my index.html page. And to do it, I have to use the extends keyword inside curly brackets paired with the %sign. Extends keyword, and after the extends keyword, I have to specify the path to the basic template. My basic template is inside templates blog folder. So I'm using here the blog folder and the name of the basic HTML template. That's all. Some content, again for a while. And if I refresh the page right now, I got the bootstrap menu, but I have no content of my index.html page. And the next step is to specify in the base HTML template all places where specific content will be inserted or injected from other HTML templates. And we can do it with the block keyword wrapped with the statements block. For instance, there is a title of the page, and here I'm creating a new block, curly brackets paired with %sign. I am using the block keyword, and then I have to specify the name of that block. I want to have the title name for my title. Then also I have to close the block with the end block keyword, and I want to specify here the default value of the title block. Let's say it will be block engine or Django block engine. And the second block will be here in my container and raw divs. I want to have the block with the content name. And that's all. And then in every specific template of my project, I have to do the same. I have to define the title block and the content block. So in the index.html, I'm defining a new title. Let's say it will be index page and the content block. The data in these blocks in specific pages will be placed inside the same blocks in the base HTML, here and here. Let's add some content to the content block of my index.html file. Let's say it will be tag with some text. And let's refresh our page. And I got the content of the index page inside the base HTML template. I have here the bootstrap menu defined in the base HTML, and I have content of the index.html also here. And that's a template inheritance. And to use in templates a data from the base template, we have to use the block super keyboard. So it looks like this. The title, index page, Google Chrome. Okay, and I want to use this part, Django block engine. So I'm pasting here the value of the title block of base HTML template, block.super, inside paired curly brackets. And if I refresh the page, I got the title block of the base HTML template, Django block engine. And now I want to correct a bit the appearance of the page. So I want to change the color of the navbar. I like this light blue, so I just copy these styles and paste it here. In a nav tag, and just delete bg light style, F5, and I got the light blue navbar. Next, I want to center the content and I want to have the margin from the top. So here I'm adding the empty class, mt5. Mt stands for margin top with 5 bootstraps units, and my main content will be wrapped with additional tag. It will be call tag with 6 bootstraps columns, offset from the left edge will be 2 bootstrap columns, and I think that's all. F5. Great. And the next problem is that the base HTML is the base template of our blog app, but not of the project. Is it matters or not depends on your idea, but anyway, how to make the base HTML template to be the base template of the entire project? To do it, I have to create in the root folder of my project here a new directory with the same name. It will be the templates directory. Templates. And I am moving there the base HTML file from blog engine. From blog directory, templates blog, base, move here. On its place in the blog folder, I'm creating a new file. Let's say it will be base blog HTML that will extend the base HTML file. Extends base HTML. And the last change is in the index.html. My index.html now will extend the base block HTML template. Base block. The index.html extends base block HTML, and base block HTML extends base HTML. If I refresh the page, I got an exception from Django that base HTML template does not exist. Base HTML. So it's time to tell Django that he got the templates folder with all basic templates for entire project. So I'm going to the block engine folder, opening settings.py file, and I need the templates list. There is a dictionary with the dirs list, and here I have to specify a new dir for him. Auth path join, and then I'm using the base dir defined here, this one, and then I'm specifying the name of my new templates folder. It is templates. If I save the file and refresh the page, I'll got my previous state. Nothing changed here, but this template is the base template for entire Django project. What the auth path join function does. The join function returns the absolute path to the templates directory by joining the template string to the base dir variable. The base dir is a result of this expression, and this expression returns the absolute path of the Django root folder. The file variable equals to the name of the file, settings.py. That's all for now. The next video will be about modals. We will create a post for the blog.